Hi everyone! Good Saturday afternoon. So usually we have our webinars on a Friday evening, but it was my wedding anniversary yesterday, so I moved our weekend webinar to Saturday afternoon. So our topic for today is called Knowing Your Worth, because as virtual assistants, when it's our first time to ever do freelancing, oh, if you can see me, please say hi. I've already started blabbering. But if you're here, please let me know. Let me say hi so that I can see the comments. Not sure who that is. Is that V? So, good evening. I hope you had a good weekend so far. So yeah, I thought it's very good to have this conversation, and I hope that you will participate. Okay, so I understand what it's like when you're just a beginning virtual assistant. It's like a first-time freelancer, but knowing your worth really applies whether you're a business person, a freelancer, or an employee. But the thing is, knowing your worth is not only based on your salary or your achievements or your educational background, the society that you're from. Okay, so parang just because you came from this prestigious university, does that already mean that you are supposed to have a high income as a beginner? Okay, just because you graduated from that school, or if you're applying for a new job and you belong to this very rich family, are they supposed to give you, a managerial position even if you have no experience? Okay, so what are the common conceptions of worth for you? What's your basis for your self-worth? Okay, because the society has conditioned us to believe that our self-worth is based on the external factors. The family we belong to, our income, our achievements in life, what our educational background is, society that we belong to, our income, our lifestyle, and all of those things. The problem is when we start looking at external factors as the basis for our self-worth, then we really feel like we are not enough. We feel like we're insecure. We're always comparing ourselves to the others because there are people who have better things than we do. But the problem with that is if we keep thinking like that, then we'll never really be happy, right? And then we will always be trying to please other people based on their standards, right? So sometimes it's even if you had a failed marriage, then some people would think, oh, failure, right? So it's important for us to examine that set of conditions, like the conditions that have been imposed by the society, or what we get to know to be basis for our self-worth. So for now, as virtual assistants, we're thinking, oh, okay, so I have no experience as a virtual assistant. So others are saying I can charge $4 an hour. But is that really fair for you if you say you have no experience and that you'll just base it on what others are saying? Okay, so your worth is not based on all of those external factors that I mentioned. You have to know that you're worth of love, of healthy relationships, a happy family, of trust, and of opportunities. Okay, because when you know your worth, then you know that you only want to be with people who give you positive energy. The rest, people who weigh you down, you know that you don't deserve them. If you value yourself, if you know that you deserve to be happy, that no matter what situation you are in economically or in terms of marriage, you know that you deserve to be happy. The reason why it's important to know your self-worth is because then you have respect for yourself. You know that people cannot, because you're not going to let that happen. Okay. The other thing is you preserve your dignity if you know your self-worth. Um, it's akin to saying like you're not going to bring yourself, you're not going to stoop too low to please other people, because you know that you know what you're worth, you know what you deserve, and so you have boundaries and you respect your own boundaries. And then see why people appreciate your value. You can acknowledge it, that people can appreciate your value. Sorry. Sometimes when people reach out to us and they say, oh, you're so good in this, or you deserve this kind of guy in your life, or you should be trying this kind of career because you're so good in this, or you're undercharging for your services. Then if we don't know our self-worth, then we'll always be questioning that. We'll always be wondering, why do they see that in me when I don't see that? I don't feel like I deserve a happy marriage. I don't feel like I deserve to be happy. I don't feel like I deserve that kind of opportunity. I'm not enough for that. But if you know that your self-worth, then you will appreciate when people say that, because you know in your own mind and in your own heart that, yeah, that's true. I do deserve that kind of opportunity. I do deserve to be happy. So that's why it's important to know your self-worth, because then you would appreciate the support that people who believe in you give you. Okay. And then you also know that you're enough. Oh, hi, Ian. You're also thank you, Ian. Oh, hi, Mary Grace. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're having a good weekend so far. So when you know your self-worth, then you stop trying so hard to please other people. Like, because when you try to please other people, I don't know if you've experienced this, parang it's always not enough. It's so tiring when you try to live up to their standards, when you try to please them. It's so tiring, because you know why? You know why it's so tiring? It's because that's not really who you are. What they like is not aligned to what you like. You know, parang it takes a lot of adjustment for you to match their energy. If you know your worth, you know that you're enough, and you're confident in your strengths and in what you can bring. You know that you don't have to please other people. If you're just being true to yourself, if you're living yourself as a genuine person, then your kind of people will be attracted to you. Okay? So how do you know your own worth? The first thing is be aware of your own being. Okay. So you can post in the comments, but I'm sure for some people this is something that's private, but you can write this down in your notebook. You can find out for yourself what makes you happy. 10 years ago, I didn't know what my favorite dish was. I would always say, oh, this is my husband's favorite dish, or this is my son's favorite dish. I didn't know what my favorite was, because I was always trying to please my family. And I didn't really know, what really is it? What do I like? Okay, so that's because I was still trying to find myself then. So write it down. Take some time to know what makes you happy. Because if you know what makes you happy, it will open a lot of doors for you. Like, you'll realize, this is what I really want to do. You know? This is my work now, but someday I'd like to do this thing because this is what makes me happy. This is what I'm passionate about. You know, when I do it, it gives me so much joy. So it's something for you to find out for yourself, discover yourself, and then it's something to plan for. Like, okay, I want to be able to do things that make me happy by next year or this year, things like that. Then you have something to look forward to. It's so important to know what makes you happy, because if you don't know, then it's like you don't have anything to look forward to. You don't have anything to plan for. 'Di ba? Parang you're just living it. Parang you're just breathing but you're not really living. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. So and then, what are your greatest fears? Have you ever asked yourself that? Maybe you already know what your greatest fears are. And then, what are your weaknesses? Be honest about that. What really is it that needs improvement for you? Is it, do you need improvement in being honest to people about who you really are? Is it a matter of having, like, being prompt? Are you always late? Is that something that, you tend to think that, people will be fine with it, but actually a lot of people are getting annoyed by it. And then, is your other weakness not being able to listen to people? Maybe your kids complain that, yeah, you're not listening to me. So maybe it's time to really take that into consideration and see, because if you know what your weaknesses are, if you're being honest to yourself, then you'll know what areas you need to improve on. Okay? And if you're able to address things up front, then they will be resolved more quickly. You'll find the solutions more quickly instead of just hiding behind excuses. And then, yeah, are you living yourself in a genuine way, or are you just putting up a face? Okay, because if you're having a hard time, then there's nothing wrong with telling people that you're having a hard time. Then maybe some people would, you would give the people the opportunity to help you. Okay, and then what kind of people draw you in? So are you attracted to people who are into adventure? Are you attracted to people who love dogs or hate cats, or people who love to cook, or people who like about the old things? So what kind of people attract you, or are you attracted to? Okay, and then you also, that's the first thing, is knowing yourself. And the second thing is, whatever your weaknesses are, whatever mistakes you've done in the past, learn how to forgive yourself. Because if you're always telling yourself, nagging yourself, putting negative things in your head about yourself, you're not enough, you're not good enough, all those things, then you'll never really be happy. So learn to forgive yourself, because we're only human. We all have mistakes, we all have weaknesses. Okay, and then have time for yourself. Me, I personally learned how to do meditation, because and then do gratefulness journaling, because that to me reminds me that life really is short, and to make use of our time wisely. I do watch Netflix. I mean, I'm not all business, I'm not all family. It's just that when you acknowledge what things you're grateful for, then you become a happier person, because you know that, oh, there are things that are good blessings in my life, like my children, or I have a job, or I know that I have this skill or this talent that I just have to practice. Yeah. And so have time for yourself, even if it's a weekend, or just 15 minutes in the morning before your kids wake up. Have 15 minutes for yourself to pray or meditate, or just be thankful, or just breathe, so that you start your day ready. You don't feel like you're being pulled in different places. And then most importantly, learn how to say no. If you know that this is your worth, like, this is my rate, this is how much my service costs, and someone tries to lowball you, learn how to say no, because that person is not for you. If they don't see the value that you bring, then they are not your client. Move on, because you'll find your people. You'll find your client. Okay, because your ideal client is someone who is happy to work with you and you feel the same way about them. And finally, find your own tribe. You can only find your own tribe if you're being genuine. For me, when I first came here to Quezon City, I didn't have any friends here. I was just, my husband was working in the province and my son and I were here. We didn't know anyone. And then I started to make friends with the moms in his school. And among those moms, they were like rich moms, or they were speaking in English. So they grew up from, you know, better families than I did. So I did not try to be like them. Ako kasi cowboy ako eh. I would just be dressed in jeans, t-shirt, and I didn't really bother dressing up, putting on makeup, and I just liked walking. I didn't drive a car. So that was just me. And for some reason, we jived, and we all liked to eat. We all cared about our kids a lot. And those were the common factors. That's why we got along really well. So how many years ago was that? I think 9 years. It's been 10 years that we've been friends, and we have our own unique personalities. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you about finding yourself, because knowing your worth is not just knowing how much you charge as a virtual assistant. It's also knowing what the boundaries are in your business, in your working relationship, how other people treat you and how you treat other people. You would know that you would deserve this. You deserve respect. You deserve honesty. You deserve trust. You deserve opportunities. Okay, so I hope that you can come back to this webinar if you're feeling down, if you're doubting yourself, if you're doubting what your capabilities are. Always remember that your skills, your gifts, your talents are unique to you. Don't compare them with other people, because then you'll never be happy. You have to embrace what you have, and if there are gaps, then that's when you start to work on it so that you can achieve your goal. Okay, if you want to be in a certain level for a certain skill, then you work on it. Okay, so trust yourself, be resilient, and have the courage to take on the challenge. But don't ever let it bog you down, like make you feel like you can never do it. Because if you start believing that, then you are not making any room for your dreams. You have to believe in yourself, you have to trust yourself, but before you can do that, you really have to know yourself and accept who you are. Because when you do, that's when you find the people who are like you, who will support you, who will see you grow, and you the same thing for them. Okay? So I will leave you with that. If you learned something from this, or if you watch the replay, please comment below. And then if you feel like anyone else in your circle, your friends or family benefit from this kind of content or webinar, then please feel free to invite them to our group, VA Dream Academy. But we're going to rename it soon, because the winning vote for the name of the group is Virtual Assistants Academy for Beginners. That's going to be our new name. We're going to come up with a new color scheme, and then I think I'm going to upload it soon. So for those who have just tuned in, I was just talking about knowing your worth, that it's not based on what other people traditionally perceive to be someone's worth. It's not based on your educational background. It's not based on your income, your status in life. It's not based on your marriage, how successful it is or whatever. It's not based on those things. your self-worth is based on how you know yourself, how you accept yourself, and how you become honest with yourself and facing whatever it is that you need to improve, and also being very confident about what you can do and what you can bring in to a business, or to a business, whether you're a freelancer or an employee, and what you can bring in into a relationship. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I do watch the look at the comments even after the live, so that please make sure to drop your questions there. If you're not comfortable to do it in the group, then you can always message me. So with that, I hope you all have a good Saturday evening, and that you make time for yourself. If you want to do the exercise, write down the things that you want to know about yourself. Imagine you're trying to know someone. Okay, you want to know what their favorite color is, what makes them happy, what their weakness is, but this time you do the exercise for yourself. That way you get to know yourself better. Be acquainted with yourself. Yeah, isn't that nice? Okay. All right, so I'm finally going to say goodbye, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye.